What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we got ourselves a shams bomb yesterday that De'Aaron Fox is potentially going to be moved at the trade deadline. The Sacramento Kings are taking calls on De'Aaron Fox, and he has one team in mind. While it hasn't been confirmed as I'm recording this, it seems like everyone is speculating that team is the San Antonio Spurs. I've done a video on this already, but since it's become relevant news again, I feel like we got to do this again. We're going to make the trade pack a little bit differently than last time. So let's go ahead and jump in. Make De'Aaron Fox's request happen if it truly is the Spurs, and do a De'Aaron Fox San Antonio Spurs rebuild in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. So as I said, we've done this before because I always thought it could eventually make sense. The Spurs have been connected to Trae Young and other premium guards, and De'Aaron Fox seemed like he might be available here soon, and now he seems to be available. Will he actually trade the deadline? Obviously remains to be seen. But if Fox were to head to if Fox were to be traded from Sacramento to San Antonio, this is the trade package I'm going to do today. Last time we did Jeremy Sohan highlighting it, but let's do Stephon Castle instead to change it up. Stephon Castle could have the lead role in Sacramento as well, so it doesn't have to worry about Chris Paul or anything, which is why I think Stephon Castle could have a ton of freedom in Sacramento. Also remains to be seen what kind of trade package Sacramento wants. Do they want to keep winning, or are they going to go on a full-on rebuild again? I think Castle would be a really good piece for Sacramento to want. So this is the trade we're going to do. 3 first-round picks, a few young players. I think Fox is going to cost quite a bit, especially considering he wants to be in San Antonio. It sounds like it's going to make this go through. Didn't even need trade override. And now De'Aaron Fox is a San Antonio Spur. It is now our job to build this team around Mr. De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama. Now, like I said, Stephon Castle may not be involved in the trade in real life, but I did it today since last time we did Jeremy Sohan. So we're keeping Sohan this time and get Stephon Castle gone instead, or trade Stephon Castle instead. So now you have De'Aaron Fox, Wemby. Now Chris Paul and Fox backcourt would be a little weird for a while, but Chris Paul may not be a Spur next year, so whatever. So we're gonna play Fox at the 2 guard for just this year. They're gonna play in the backcourt together just this year, but going forward that will absolutely change. So Chris Paul, Fox, Barnes, so on. Wembanyama, Vassell, Julian Champagnie, Zach Collins, and Charles is gonna be a rotation. With that all being said, we're gonna go ahead and simulate the rest of year number 1 with De'Aaron Fox added to the Spurs team, and we'll see if we can get in the play-in or the playoffs. I think Wemby and Fox would obviously be electric, and it'd be a great watch if it were to happen. At the end of year 1, Shea wins MVP, Alex Sarr is your rookie of the year, Naz Reid is your 6th man, Wemby's defensive player, and Amin Thompson most improved, Devin Booker clutch player, and Tom Thibodeau is your coach of the year. So here's your NBA first team with Shea, Nikola Jokic, Wembanyama making it obviously already is a really good sign, which wouldn't be too shocking to see. All of his first team, of course, Wemby is going to be on here too, highlighting the all-defensive team. And we also, I guess Stephon Castle makes all-rookie first team for the Kings now. So we definitely got to do a Kings side of this rebuild as well, do a Stephon Castle Kings rebuild. I think that'd be a ton of fun. As long as the actual trade doesn't happen before we get that video out. But we are the 7th in the Western Conference. So if you take a look at the player stats, he had 25 from Fox and 26 from Wembanyama, 16 from Vassell, 11 from Sohan, 9 from Champagnie, and 9 from Barnes, and 9 from Chris Paul. So let's see if we can beat the Warriors in round 1 of the play-in. That'd be great. And we lose. So now we get to play Memphis or Houston. So now we get to play the Rockets, and we will win. So we're in the playoffs. So we get Wembanyama and Fox in the playoffs, which is nice. Let's go to an 9-man rotation as well. Probably should have done this earlier, but here we are now. So 9-man rotation: Chris Paul, Fox, Vassell, Sohan, Wembanyama, Champagnie, Barnes, Zach Collins, and Charles. So here goes nothing. Oklahoma City obviously is going to be a really tough team to upset, but once upon a time, the Thunder were impossible to beat in 2K, but it's never like that anymore. I've noticed they're pretty beatable, so it wouldn't shock me if we upset them, but I'm not expecting it. And we are going to be in a game 6 with them, and we do force a game 7. So who knows, man? If Fox and Wembanyama could upset this this Thunder team, and it's not going to happen. I'm about to say, if we can get a massive upset in game 7, that'd be a great start to Fox and Wembanyama, but we do not. So 90 to 136. Unfortunately, we do end up losing. And then you're going to have the Thunder and then the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves beat them. And the Knicks go on to beat, the Timberwolves cat gets a championship on his former team. So that would be poetic justice. So Chris Paul does retire, and I'm going to leave it that way. That way, De'Aaron Fox could have the full role to the point guard spot. LeBron James also going to call it a career. So let's go to the draft lottery system and see. I know we have a couple of picks, but I think both of them are protected, unfortunately. Chicago's pick is top 10. And then Charlotte's pick is lottery protected. So we're not getting either of them. Although it'd be awesome to get one of them, we're just not, unfortunately. So as you can see, both the picks, like if they weren't protected, we'd have the number 1 and number 2 overall pick. Imagine adding Cooper Flag and Ace Bailey to this team right now. That'd be incredible, but it is not going to work out that way. Obviously, those picks were both protected. We do have the 20th overall selection, though, and I think that's it, which a first-round pick in this draft is still nice to have. Greg Popovich, I'm going to go ahead and extend his contract. I want to see if we can get him a championship with this core. That way he sticks around. Now let's go to draft night. I believe he signed an extension in real life anyway, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. On draft night, yeah, only the 20th overall pick. Don't think there's, like, anybody I'm looking to trade just yet, but we do have, like, Barnes' expiring contract and Zach Collins' expiring contract if we want to add, like, a third star to this equation, which might be something to look into because we do have a bunch of draft picks to make something happen. But let's draft the 20 to start things off and see if we can get a steal here. So number 20, we have Mr. Rocky. We have Carlin Murray Boyles, Drake Powell, Phil Bethea, and then, you know, Ruzic, Dame Sar. But I do think we're going to take Drake Powell here. So Hall of Fame ceiling, 6'6" out of North Carolina, 18 years old. So we'll grab Drake Powell here, and I'll let my assistant take care of the 2 seconds. So feeling pretty good about that first round pick. Cooper Flag is in Charlotte, Dylan Harper to Chicago, BJ Edgecombe, and then Ace Bailey fell all the way to the Wizards at 5. So Drake Powell 71 overall, so probably won't be able to contribute right away. Actually kind of like these 2 picks that the Spurs, or that our assistant made for us in round 2, so we'll take that. Blake Wesley will accept, and then qualifying offers, nothing going on in free agency. I don't know if we have cap space, which we don't. I guess we have a little bit of money to, you know, offer like an MLE or whatever. But I would, you know, be interested in making another trade here with those expiring contracts I was talking about. So first and foremost, we need to move Fox back to point guard. Obviously, we want him to be the point guard going forward. So he's going to be the point guard. And then Vassell at the 2 does not hurt my feelings at all. So to me, our small forward spot is like where we could really upgrade because Wembanyama and Jeremy Sohan, you know, we could move Sohan to the 3 or whatever. So maybe just a forward in general would be very helpful to add to this team. So we'll see if we can find that. It'd be ideal to do that right now while Wembanyama's cheap. And obviously, while we have a couple of big expiring contracts and we're under the second apron. So let's make something happen. Let's try to do something, and we'll see if there's anything out there that truly makes sense to try to add to this team as a third. Now, maybe not a third star necessarily, but just like a third contributor who could really help out this team going into next year. So after exploring the trade market, I didn't see anything that I absolutely love the idea of, but I do kind of have a certain player in mind that we could trade for. And I'm not sure I'm in love with the idea, but he would be a third contributor this year, while we have, you know, Victor Wembanyama on his, you know, rookie contract for a couple more years. So, and then ultimately, I do think that if we trade for this player, we can eventually have a very big expiring contract and maybe something later on pops up. So, and he's obviously in trade rumors in real life right now. And I am talking about Chicago's Zach LaVine. He has a player option that he's more than likely going to accept next year for $50 million. He's having a really good season in Chicago in real life right now. So I think trade for LaVine would not be the worst idea in the world. So that is what we're going to try to do, is see if we can use Barnes' expiring contract and Zach Collins' expiring contract to trade for Zach LaVine. I think that's kind of my goal right now, just because, like I said, you know, Wembanyama is only making $13 million at the moment. And if LaVine accepts his $48 million player option, it's an expiring contract that we can use in a trade later on. And LaVine shouldn't be that expensive either, is kind of my hope. So we can offer like maybe Blake Wesley, who we just accepted, and then maybe you offer like a, you know, pick swap with the Hawks maybe for LaVine. And this might be enough to make it happen. They do not accept that though. Okay, what if I offered you Mikey Williams as well? And just like that, the Bulls agree. So we get Zach LaVine for fairly cheap, which I'll absolutely take. So Zach LaVine is our brand new starting small forward for next season. And defensively, it's not really going to matter ultimately because obviously Wembanyama is going to hide any deficiencies. Sohan being here too. Like the deficiencies will be hidden. But now we need to re-sign a couple of guys. So we're going to have to resign Trey Jones. We're going to have to resign Sandro. And then Charles will probably resign too as our backup 5. So just bring all those guys back. That way our bench is still good. So we'll look good there. And boom. And then we might still have money to sign another good player if we want, which we do. So let's see who we want to go after. So we have our backup point guard, Trey Jones. We don't really have a backup 2 right now. Champagny is still here, and then Sandro here. So we don't really need to sign anybody in particular. But I guess if we did, we can offer like Brandon Boston or Garrison Matthews or Isaiah Joe. Let's go after Isaiah Joe, who could be a really good bench player for years to come. So give me Isaiah Joe as our last signing, and I'll take that. So that is what we're going to rock with for year number 2. LaVine won't be here long term. He does regress, but I think he'll be a nice third option this year, and that's all I'm looking for. I just want to be able to go for it with Wemby and Fox while the iron is hot, and we could strike again on his expiring contract maybe at next year's deadline. maybe there's somebody that's just, light years better to trade for there using his $48 million expiring contract. So that's kind of my goal. That's kind of my thought process with LaVine trade. We didn't give up too much to get him. So we'll go look at the rotation, though, going into year number 2, and we'll see what it's looking like. But I'm pretty optimistic that this team could maybe go win it all this year right now. So here is your rotation going into year number 2. De'Aaron Fox obviously is the point guard. Vassell, Zach LaVine, Jeremy Sohan, Wembanyama, Champagnie, Charles, Isaiah Joe, and Sandro. So that does leave Trey Jones out of the rotation, which is fine. And then let's look at shot tendencies. So obviously Wembanyama and Fox is very high, and then Zach LaVine's is, wow, on it. That's a little shocking how low it is. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'll push it up to like a 70, I guess. But yeah, a little shocked by how low his shot tendency is in 2K, which is fine because I don't really want him to score like that much. Might push him over Vassell just a tad bit. Other than that, I can rock with that. So obviously Wembanyama and Fox are gonna lead the way, with Vassell and LaVine being the contributing other scores. So we'll take that. Third power ranking and proficiency is a 4-star. So I'm gonna just go right into this. And I'm going to hope that this team could really surprise us this year. And like I said, with that expiring contract with LaVine next year, maybe we can get a better upgrade that fits the timeline a little bit better. But so far, this is off to a really good start. So feeling good. Feeling good. At the end of year 2, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Cooper Flagg is your rookie of the year for the Charlotte Hornets. 6th man goes to Dylan Harper. Victor Wembanyama, defensive player. We're just going to continue to see that probably every season. And Scoot's your most improved. Steph's a clutch player, and Jason Kidd, wow, coach of the year. No wonder why we didn't get the first seed in the West. I'm about to say, we had a really good record, 64-18, but I was kind of, I saw we were the 2nd seed like the whole time, and it makes sense now. The Mavericks went 70 and freaking 12. So All-NBA first team, obviously Wembanyama's here. It'd be cool to see Fox on here too, but I don't know. Oh, he is here. Nice. All-NBA third team. So 28, 5, and 6, De'Aaron Fox. So really awesome to see that. He was awesome next to Wembanyama, which is great. And all defensive first team and all defensive second team. So Wemby makes that, of course, too. So 2nd seed in the Western Conference. So obviously there's higher expectations this year than there were last year. But 28 from Fox, 26 from Victor Wembanyama, and then 16 from LaVine, which is kind of what we wanted. We just needed somebody to contribute just a tad bit. Next to these guys, Vassell with 14, and then 9.5 from Sohan with 7 rebounds, and then 9 from Julian Champagnie. So without further ado, let's see if this could be a year where we maybe go win a championship. We get the Clippers in round 1. All respect to Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, but we should not lose this series. So let's go ahead and simply occur around against them, and we will beat them in 5. So that's great. We get our first playoff series victory with Wemby and Fox already in the video. Could have had it maybe last year, but we did lose to the Thunder. Now we draw Minnesota, though. As we know, Minnesota could be really tough with Anthony Edwards being a 95 overall, averaging 36 points in the playoffs right now. So here goes nothing. Similarly, current round against Minnesota, and damn, we're down 3-0. Wow, that sucks. Can we get back in the series, though? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is 2K going to do what I think they're about to do? They're going to make Minnesota blow a 3-0 lead? That would be pretty wild if they did. And we might get back in this and force a game 7. It looks like... Ooh, wait a minute. It's close. Oh, boy. This is going to come down to the wire. Can we hold on to force a game 7? Oh, please hang on. And we do. So we're going to a game 7 after being down 3-0. Who would have thought? Can we come back here and win this game 7 now? Is Minnesota just drained with no energy after letting us force a game 7? It's looking that way. So, ooh, wait a minute. They're back in it. We got to watch the end of this, I think. 94-93. We got to jump in and watch the end of this. I'm not playing this out. I think I've learned my lesson on playing lately. I don't know. What do you guys enjoy more? Let me know down in the comments. Do you enjoy when I play? What the hell is this lineup on the floor right now, by the way? Sandro, this is disgusting. This is your crunch time lineup right now, 2K? Like, this is what we're doing? Of course, at least we have Wemby out here, but damn, bro. Just get the ball to Wemby. That's all I'm asking for right now. There we go. All right. Oh, Edwards low key. Yo, someone call a timeout so we can change the lineup because this is disgusting. Dude, Charles, Sandro, Victor Wembanyama. Okay, yeah, and okay, Edwards going to stop and pop, and he's going to make it. Yo, call a timeout, Popovich. We need Fox on the floor right now. Are they fouled out or something? I don't know. Don't know what's going on, but again, all we need to do is get the ball to Wemby, and good things will more than like. Isaiah Joe instead shoots a contested 3. This is actually insanity what this lineup is right now. Okay, so thankfully Rob Dillingham go can't even talk. Gobert with an offensive rebound, and now they're gonna have the ball. Okay, and Edwards is left wide open, and he's gonna knock it down. What a just atrocious lineup that Popovich has on the floor right now. Don't know what 2K's obsession is with bigs on the floor. Like, they just want to, if If they had their choice, they'd have all, and look at it. Now our starting five's out here. If 2K had its choice, they would put nothing but centers on the lineup, centers on the floor at all times. It just is so stupid. Fox mid-range, and he turned around on it and missed. Oh my God. Dude, just get out of here. This is atrocious. I don't even know what I'm watching right now. Let's just get to the offseason because holy moly, was that horrible. Fox does a turnaround mid-range thinking it's going in, and then, you know, you guys get what I'm trying to say. He basically just did a D-Lo. Or no, that was a Nick Young, wasn't it? Nick Young. He just did a Nick Young. All right, so let's go see who wins the championship. And Dallas actually loses Minnesota, and then Minnesota goes on to win it all. So whatever. I mean, we almost made them blow a 3-0 lead, so we're close. Man, that was very bad what I just watched. But let's go to the lottery again. So let's see what we got going on here. So we are going to have Charlotte's pick, which, you know, as much as I would love to believe that is correct, I don't believe it is. I believe Charlotte's pick is protected in 2026 as well, or we'd be walking away with the 6th overall pick. Maybe it's only top 5 protected, but let me do my research. We do get that Bulls pick for sure, if I'm not mistaken. So that's good to have at least. But yeah, pretty sure I'm not supposed to have the 6th overall pick. So I'll double check on that, and we'll head to draft night. LaVine, I'm assuming LaVine's going to accept this player option, and we're going to allow him to stay on the team probably until the trade deadline. So we have 6, 19, and 4 second-round picks. Damn, a lot of second-round picks to use at our disposal. So, and then Drake Powell might develop into something this year too, so we got to keep that in mind. But we're gonna see if I get to keep the 6th pick. I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to. So yeah, the pick actually turns into a 2020 or it turns into a 2nd round pick in 2026. So now we have like 5 2nd round picks, or what? Yeah, 6 or no 5. Yeah, it's 5 if I can do math. So I think it might be in our best interest to try to move up in this draft and see if we can't like find a way to get a lottery pick or something. I mean, probably can't get a lottery pick, but we could probably trade up into like pick 20 or something with how many picks we have. So let's see, is like the Grizzlies open for business with this Magic pick? If I offer them like 3, 5, 9, 17, and 30. I'm just going to try to turn this into a first. They do agree. So we're going to get the 2 first rounders now, 19 and 22. We have Caden Boozer on the board, which I definitely think I'll start there to get ourselves a better backup point guard for the future. And then we have Sheridan, which I don't know much about him. We have Elson Harrington, which I know he could be a beast. We just took a guard, so I don't really want to double down on a guard. Sid Gee, Dash Daniels. I guess I'll take Dash Daniels here as well at Australia, 6'6". We can maybe move to small forward. So we got Caden Boozer and Dash Daniels. Welcome. So now LaVine accepts player option, which like I thought he would. So nice. Love that. And qualifying offers, Sohan, City, and Harrison Ingram are all free agents, which I'm going to bring back all 3 more than likely. It would be nice if you had money for Luka, which would be crazy, but obviously we have Fox, so we don't need to do that. So Jeremy Sohan resigned to a nice little deal. We'll do that. And then, ooh, Fox is here too. Didn't even realize that, but we got to resign him clearly. And then City, we can give a contract to as well. So keep everybody intact. I mean, we almost made it to the conference finals last year. We could still sign a good player in free agency too, so we might look into that. Trey Jones, Isaiah Joe, Drake Powell, Dash Daniel, Champagny. So give me a better backup center if there's one. So James Wiseman, Zach Collins, De'Aaron Sharp, or Nick Richards. I mean, I kind of like a lot of these options. Give me James Wiseman off the bench over Charles, though. I'll do that, and that should give us a nice little backup center to have. So we'll do that. That'll be our big addition in free agency. And as I've kind of, hinted at, last offseason, LaVine's contract is going to more than likely be used at the deadline to get a better small forward, I think. That's kind of my hope and my goal. We have plenty of players to attach to him if needed. So with that all being said, hopefully there is a player available using team intel. I don't even care what the real life rumors are. I'm simply going to use 2K's team intel. If a team is selling and they have a good player we can trade for, I'm doing it. I don't care. We do have to cut a couple guys, though, unfortunately, which actually, you know what? Instead of cutting some of these guys, because a lot of them I don't think you should cut, we're going to trade away Trey Jones for a second, probably. So, like the Grizzlies, we're not going to take a first from them, but like a 2nd round pick for Trey Jones, I think is fine. And then I guess we could trade away, Mr. Charles now, too, since we'll have James Wiseman. Although he's better than James Wiseman, but I'm still going to do this regardless. So the Hawks want to give me Cody's, or I guess I can't take Cody Zeller. What am I talking about? So does anybody just want to take Charles? Like, do the Bucks have enough value? No. Why would I think the Bucks have? What about the Blazers? Yeah, the Blazers. You can have them. Okay. So we trade him for a second as well, instead of just cutting those 2 guys. And now we can go into next season. And obviously, like I said, the main goal is to try to upgrade at the trade deadline and become champions with the trade at the deadline. So at the trade deadline, as promised, as we're 35-15 on the season, and we're the second seed in the West. You could argue maybe we just don't do anything right now and stick with what we got, but I'm not going to do that. We are going to trade LaVine, as I mentioned. So there's a couple of interesting options, I guess, I'll take a look at. So there's Kevin Durant, which he's 38 years old, so probably don't want to go that direction, but it definitely is an idea. There's Shaedon Sharpe on the Blazers as well, 23 years old, young enough that maybe the Blazers would trade him. I don't know. Don't know what he's making right now either, so it might be hard to match his contract. Yeah, so he's only making $34 million. So I'm kind of looking at the guys that are like in the $50 million range. Like Stephen Curry obviously would be wild, but he's untouchable. So here's my wild idea. I could say this might backfire if I do it though. Joel Embiid is available, and I don't trade for him very often. Now he's already down to an 89 overall, so we do have to keep that in mind. But it's still an upgrade to what we have right now in LaVine. And all we're trying to do is win a championship this season with this core. We can move Embiid to the power forward spot and so on to the 3. So it could be an interesting idea. Imagine a front court of Wemby and Embiid, but we do have to realize, no, Embiid in real life, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it if I'm the Spurs in real life, obviously, because of Embiid's injuries. There's Desmond Bane, too, which is interesting. You got, like, Jalen Johnson, who just tore his labrum, I guess, or is out for the season now. Barry Smith Jr., Jimmy Butler. But I think I'm going to go for Joel Embiid. It's weird, but I'm going to do it. I mean, he's making enough to where we could offer them LaVine in a couple pieces, and I definitely think we can make this happen. So, Zach LaVine for Joel Embiid, and let's say we also offer, like, maybe not Drake Powell, but let's say we offer Caden Boozer or something like that. And then let's just see if that let's just see, well, I'll offer a first too, as well. Let's see if our unprotected 2027 pick gets anything done for them. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. So, I mean, that wasn't even much at all. So, yeah, I think we got Embiid with a pretty good price. So, Embiid is going to go down at power forward. Wemby would go down. So, I'm fine with Embiid being the power forward, though. So, let's fix these secondary positions. So, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Fox, I mean, he can play some shooting guard, I guess. And then, yeah, so all that looks good other than Sohan could be secondary position power forward. So, which I just realized Sohan's up to an 84 now. So, yeah. All right, well, that's my big trade. Joel Embiid is now a Spur at the deadline. Isaiah Joe is cold for some reason, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. And then Drake Powell, I know, is listed as shooting guard. I guess Champagne is our backup. I was about to say, we could probably move Powell to small forward to go up in overall. But we're 4.5 proficiency with Embiid joining. So we'll see how that goes, but that is my big trade, Joel Embiid. So now let's look at his shots in the C because we don't need him to be the number one scorer anymore, or definitely don't need him to be. We can keep Fox and Wemby as those two guys. So we can push his touch tendency down just a tad bit, but yeah, he could be the third guy, which, I think at this stage of Embiid's career wouldn't be a bad role for him. So we'll see how that goes with Joel Embiid. Hopefully it leads us to a championship. We shall find out. So Luka Doncic wins MVP. Cameron Boozer's Rookie of the Year. I was about to say, damn, we traded Caden Boozer. You get Rookie of the Year already, but no. Six-man Kobe White, Wemby Defensive Player, which, again, we just continue to see that every year. Jeremiah Fears Most Improved. Shingun Clutch Player, and Mark's your Coach of the Year, and John Murphy's your Executive. So no Spurs representatives at all other than Wembanyama, which he doesn't make an All-NBA first team, which is quite surprising. But we do get Wemby and Fox on All-NBA second team. It would be cool if we saw him beat on here too, but probably too late stages in his career. So Wembanyama, all defensive first team, and yeah, so that's it. And then all rookie first team, all rookie second team. So we are the second seed in the West once again. We don't have to deal with Minnesota on this side of the bracket, which is the team that beat us last year. We had 27 from Fox again, 23.5 from Wemby, 18 from Embiid, 14 from Vassell, and then 11 and 7 from Sohan, 10 from Champagnie, and then 8 and 7 from James Wiseman. So obviously the expectation is winning a championship. We have plenty of size to deal with Nikola Jokic, so hopefully we can win this series pretty easily. We'll see. Then we turn around against Denver. We lose game 1, but we win the rest, and now we get to play Dallas, who you have Luka Doncic, still have Kyrie Irving, and then Gafford. So the team kind of looks the same relatively. So let's go ahead and give the Mavericks their respect and go game by game here. Battle of the Texas teams. Game 1 goes to us. Blow them out pretty easily there. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, we win, and game 4, we win as well. And are we going to get to the conference finals for the first time in the video? Yes, we are. Give me Minnesota. I would love to see some revenge on them. And now it's going to be OKC instead, which we pushed them to 7 the first season. And, of course, they drafted AJ, which that's definitely concerning. Which they probably shouldn't even have had that pick, but I just didn't fix it. That's my fault. Detroit and Brooklyn on the other side. But here goes nothing. AJ isn't fully developed yet, so we might have a chance here. Game 1 does go to us. Beat them by 5. Game 2 goes to us as well. Again, man, like in the past, OKC was always intimidating to beat, but they're not like that anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't know if 2K nerfed them, but they used to be so tough to beat, I think, in previous 2Ks. But we're in the finals. I mean, no team has pushed us to 6 so far. And now we get Detroit in the finals. So Cade Cunningham versus Fox in the NBA finals. They have Ron Holland Capella. I have no idea how they're going to deal with Wemby and Embiid down low. Good luck to them for that, but we'll see how it goes. Game 1 goes to us. Good start. Game 2. So far, so good. And, bro, we're just dominating this bracket. So the Embiid trade seemed to have worked out very well as we are about to sweep. We only dropped 2 games the entire playoffs, which is so awesome. And we're going to blow them out in Game 4 as well. So what a beautiful way to end this video. What a beautiful way. I'm going to end it on a good note with a championship. So Fox and Wemby would be a very fun duo in real life. And it sounds like we're going to see it, man. And I can't wait. Now, the question remains, though, are we going to see it, you know, this year? Are we going to see it at the deadline? Or are we going to have to wait until like 2026? Or are we going to have to wait till this offseason for a trade to happen? So that obviously remains to be seen. I definitely think I will be live streaming next Thursday during the trade deadline, since it, you know, I was kind of expecting like the deadline to, you know, maybe be a little disappointing, but with the Fox news coming out and Jimmy Butler saga hasn't been solved yet, like we might see some big trades on Thursday, man. We really might. And even before then, we might see some as well, as we have our reserves in right now. I'm going to see if I can hit a shot before this video is all said and done. So let's see if we can make something happen. Dash Daniels. Oh my gosh, bro. What am I doing? Thankfully, I already have this win lock. Oh, I got a steal. Don't backcourt. Champagny. 3. Give me that. Oh, that felt so good. 35 seconds left. All right, so let's see what Mr. I think this. Oh, all right, nice pass. 120, 107. We got to hit a shot here. Let's hit it with our Australian prospect, Dash Daniels. Give me a good screen, somebody. James Wiseman, give me a screen. Give me a screen. Oh, we're just going to take the... All right, guys. Should I try another shot? Because so far, this is not going well at all. Like, I haven't gotten close to hitting it. I mean, Champagny almost winning, I guess. But, damn, bro. I'm just getting my shot swatted to the front row. Give me a... Okay, we get a foul. I'll take that. So let's go ahead and put these free throws in, and then we can just end this video with a championship. But the Embiid trade was interesting. Like I said, I don't trade for Embiid that often. I think I've done it before, don't get me wrong. But he was so easy to trade for that, like, you know, just thought it was worth it. He'd be an upgrade to Zach LaVine, and that's all we really wanted at the deadline. So seemed to have worked out. I thought we could have maybe won last year, but we didn't, unfortunately. We're going to be celebrating on Detroit's home floor with a championship. So no complaints from me, man. Love to see what we're able to do in this, what, 3rd or 4th season? I think this is the 3rd season, or maybe it's the 4th season. I don't know. But beautiful way to end the video with a championship. So let's see who, and of course, I hate it how whoever's on the court gets to celebrate with the trophy. It doesn't make any sense. Assuming it'll change to, yeah, there's our starter. Well, I guess it just adds Fox in. Wembanyama is nowhere to be seen. Must have not contributed at all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. This is Crushables. Be on the next one. Probably with the Kings video, unless if a trade happens. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.